Yo, what's up everyone, and welcome back to this week's upload, and also the first ever monthly PlayStation 4 games review. Now before we actually start this off, there's just something very quick that I have to say. I'm putting no cross-buy games in here, only the two games that PlayStation has guaranteed to give us, okay? And if you don't know what that is, then I wouldn't worry about it, okay? So the trailer's been out for a while, and you may or may not have seen it, but if you haven't, I'm just going to show you a complete representation of what happened when I first saw the trailer, okay? So just enjoy it.
Peggy 18.
Better be good then if it's 18. Yeah, looking good, looking good. Walking Dead. Wait, Kung Fu Rabbits. PlayStation, I swear, if you ever put that up. And Kickbeat, music must not be lost. What the hell is that? Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Now right here, I've legit paused the video when I saw it first because I was in shock when I saw what that name was. Day of the Tentacle. Like, come on, PlayStation. I know it could be a good game, but seriously? You're giving us this crap? What? What? What's going on? What? What on earth was that? Oh, hello. This game already looks a lot better. And way more my art style. Oh, what? Tanks and everything? Okay, I've seen enough. PlayStation, come on. Start this year off with something on a high, anything, Titanfall or something, I don't know. Just not this. Anyway, no matter how bad the games are, I'm still here to review them. So get ready to hear the wisest words from the best game critic since IGN. Day of the Tentacle. Its initial release was 1993, also known as Maniac Mansion, a sequel to the first game made by LucasArts. And I'm just quickly putting this in. I just went to look at the ratings of the game and they have shocked me, honestly. It has wacky cartoon art style and voices. It takes everything and makes it funny, even suicide, which I have to say, I'm sorry, but I actually find that pretty funny. And of course, not the suicide bit. The suicide bit is just, don't do it, okay? It's not healthy for you. I mean, how they make it funny, that's what I like about it. The game takes place over a few centuries but only has one player that has built himself a time machine. The game takes the puzzle, riddle and all around confusing road throughout the game and has absolutely no hint system, which I hate games that don't have those. Next, the plot of the story. Now props to Wikipedia for this next bit of info since I never really did want to play the game. Mostly because it looks like crap, but that's just my opinion, so don't go hating, okay? A sequel to blah blah blah. The game's plot follows Bernard Bernoulli, I think, whatever, and his friends blah blah blah, trying to stop the evil tentacle, a sentinel disembodiment tentacle, from taking over the earth. What a load of crap. Anyway, blah blah blah, that takes you on a wild adventure throughout time, teleporting you and other objects throughout hundreds of years. So I guess if you like saving the world from purple tentacles that are disembodied and also living, this is exactly the game that was made for you. In fact, I think they might have made the game for you. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be serious with this game, but I can't. It's just very different in a weird way. Okay, I'm just starting to get tired about talking about this game, so I'm just going to sum it up. It can go anywhere between 2 to 6 hours, depending on how smart you are. Has a very wacky feel to it. You have to stop a tentacle from taking over the earth. Has very good mind-boggling puzzles and a great modern-day 2017 game to play when you're absolutely bored and have completely nothing else to do. The overall rating for this game that I'll have to give it is a 5 or 6. I don't know. I don't care why. I never will play. Never consider playing. Let's move on, shall we? Next game. This War of Mine. When I first saw the trailer, I thought I had a pretty good understanding about what the game was going to be like, but nah. It was way different. But before I get into that, first things first, the backstory. That's right, I've done my research and this is what I found. The game's timeline is set in the years 1992 to 96 in the siege of Sarajevo during the Bosnian War. Excuse me if that's not right. And is a sequel to the original This War of Mine, with really everything just being the same, but this time they've added kids. So when you actually come to think about it, the game's creators, known as Deep Silver, made a whole other game based on something that they could have just put a DLC on. So now the background of the story is out of the way, I would say it's time to get into the actual game. Remember at the start of the trailer when it said Peggy 18, which I'm pretty sure is just R18, I was a bit skeptical. but after a few hours of research, I now understand why it is up there. I quote from PlayStation, "It is a dark and an emotional scarring game, but at the same time tactical and exhilarating," end quote. That your main objective is to survive as a civilian back home rather than fighting as a soldier. You play as multiple characters throughout the game that all have different traits, trying to survive by collecting resources and talking and trading with others, that all decisions affect your future. So yeah, once again, the same game but simply implements kids making it even more of a pain in the ass to survive throughout the game. Now if you still don't understand, here is another in-text quote from PlayStation. Blah blah blah. "You're charged with keeping a group of civilian survivors alive in the midst of a disastrous war. By fortifying your shelters by day and scavenging for supplies by night, you might stand a chance of keeping them free from disease, hunger, and desperate, merciless raiders, and of keeping the little ones safe and smiling." Reading back through this, it kinda reminds me of a certain few games before this, maybe Fallout and The Walking Dead, which if you haven't already, you should totally go check out my last video about The Walking Dead, because I need those views, if you know what I'm saying. But on a serious note, if you can't already tell, I'm way more enthused about this game than The Day of the Tentacle, which I'm not gonna say is a bad game, because I know some people like it, but hey, don't let me influence you, just go make your own decisions. But anyway, this has been going on for a lot longer than I thought, okay, so it's just time for me to sum up and also say the last few points that I was gonna say at the same time. This war of mine, the little ones. This game goes for as long as you can survive for, so till you mess up and then die. A very different in a good way war style game, me personally loving the atmosphere of the game since I have always loved war type games. Can be emotionally crushing if you mess up, and I probably should have mentioned sooner, but this game was originally meant for the PC and I think iOS, so when you go to walk around in some certain areas, it's gonna be a bit hard to move. And for my final rating, I give it 7 for all the reasons just stated. My opinion, let's move on. If you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button because you know I need some of that. Anyway, in the wise words of Line, see you next week everybody!